Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web. And RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
And DFWCatholic.org, spreading the truth, one city at a time.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Michael Voris. Christian missionaries arraigned. Following up on a story we brought you a few weeks ago, 4 Christian missionaries who were arrested in Dearborn, Michigan at the Arab International Festival this past June for handing out leaflets on the Gospel of John were arraigned this week on misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct. Niga Mael, Dr. Nabil Qureshi, Paul Rezekla, and David Wood, members of a group called Acts 17 Apologetics, entered not guilty pleas. The missionaries were arrested June 18th while handing out the Christian literature to the mostly Muslim festival goers. The group says they were arrested over religion, and their First Amendment rights were curtailed when they were illegally stopped from speaking to the public. Dearborn police insist this is not true. The defendants are scheduled to return to court for another hearing August 3rd. If the case goes to trial, it will begin in September. If found guilty, the misdemeanor charge could carry a $1,000 fine or more, and in some cases, 6 months to a year in county jail. No joint custody for same-sex couples. In better news coming out of Michigan, the Michigan Appeals Court in Detroit has overturned a lower court ruling by prohibiting joint custody of 3 children for a same-sex couple ending their relationship. Rennie Harmon and Tammy Davis raised 3 children together for nearly 2 decades because Davis was the legal biological mother in the artificial insemination births. Harmon needed the court to grant dual custody after Davis severed all ties between Harmon and the children following their breakup. Since same-sex marriage, so-called marriage, is banned in Michigan and civil unions are not recognized, the appellate court said parental rights are only bestowed through procreation, the assumption of parenthood in a marriage, or adoption, which is granted only to married couples or single parents. Anglican Exodus. Stephen Parkinson, director of Forward in Faith, a group that has about 10,000 members, including more than 1,000 clergy, told Catholic News Service in an interview this week that a large number of Anglo-Catholics are considering conversion to the Catholic faith. His comments came after the General Synod, the National Assembly of the Church of England, voted a meeting in York to approve the creation of women bishops by the year 2014 without meeting the demands of objectors. Quote, "We explained very carefully why we could not accept women bishops theologically," this is the words of Parkinson, "but the General Synod has decided to get rid of us by saying either put up or shut up and accept innovations, however unscriptural or heretical, or get out," end quote. Parkinson said he expected thousands of members of Forward in Faith to consider accepting Pope Benedict XVI's offer of a personal ordinariate issued last November in which a group of Anglicans can be received into the Catholic Church while still retaining their distinctive patrimony and liturgical practices. Stay with us. Back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium. CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world. CatholicUnderground.com, the podcast about our Catholic faith and new media.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hope gives hope. The Legionnaires of Christ have to hold an extraordinary chapter to adopt new constitutions. Benedict XVI told them this in a letter given to an archbishop who is the pontifical delegate to the congregation. The Pope said it is necessary and urgent to take a journey of deep review of the charism of the Institute. At the same time, he tells members of the Legionnaires he wants to accompany them and asks them not to leave disheartened at the sad events that took place. He also highlighted the zeal and fervor of a great number of the congregation's members. And lastly, a double tragedy. A woman headed to an abortion clinic met with tragedy when she careened through a red light, colliding with a vehicle and causing her miscarriage. The woman has been charged with reckless endangerment and 1 count of manslaughter. The woman made a brief statement at the courthouse saying, quote, "I am deeply upset that my actions have turned a $200 trip into a possible prison sentence. I only wanted to get rid of my baby. I never intended to hurt anyone." End quote. I'm Michael Voris. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure and check out The Vortex today, where we talk about the call that came at midnight. That's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tell your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.